What's up guys, we're finally here with an overview of Crimson Slash Souga. I know a lot of you have been waiting for a while for him, so I'm looking forward to getting into this one for you. Alright, so starting off with his perks. So first two will be standard. 320 attack against beast bosses. Extra attack for his ninjutsu. This looks like something similar to what like Morven has with his reverse dragon scale, so it looks like he'll have an extra skill. Looks like he gets some shurikens that he can shoot when he uses it. And extra damage for the second phase of his ninjutsu. I'm not sure what highest stage means, but we'll figure that out when we test. Alright, so support skills. Looks like when he's below 50%, so basically like his version 1, but instead of being strong against Oni, it'll be strong against Beast. And the attack gets a little bit of a boost compared to his version 1. Looking at his skins real quick. It's a blue one, or cyan. Get the captain's outfit. Check those out later. Alright, so Jutsu 1 looks like 3 slashes or sweeps. Jutsu 2 basically does a bunch of slashes really quick. Attack and non-attack states. So that sounds similar to what Pepper can do. Still uses some ninjutsu. We'll look at his talents. He might be able to mitigate some of that. We'll see. And it looks like he does a final attack for part 3. Triple jump, which is standard. And then you can see the standard score and attack nodes. So Jutsu 1. So 10 damage, 10% damage for that, 8% damage for Jutsu 2. So it looks like you won't get an overall boost to all of his ninjutsu. You gotta do these nodes to get different parts of it. So it looks like we're starting to move away with our characters because we've seen this with a couple of other ninjas now. Little score bonus for skin set. Attack node. Next one looks like a wind weapon node. Yeah. So ninjutsu gets additional damage against beast bosses. Jutsu 3, okay, yeah, so 3 different portions of his ninjutsu will get boosted separately. So we got attack and HP nodes here. Crimson Feather Slash. Okay, so we went from 33 to 63%. So if there's another node there, it looks like we'll get to 100%. And these look like they'll boost his ninjutsu further. Looks like all three areas will get a boost. Yeah, that's exactly what happened there. Kind of curious what these damage boosts look like. So Crimson Knight, HP below 30% with a 2% cooldown increase. Okay. Automatically accumulate Crimson Slash over time. Once it's obtained, can be manually activated. That's that extra skill that I was talking about. Oh, so he gets extra attack if he's below 30% when that's manually activated. So this isn't like version 1 where you just drop below 30% and he gets his Blood Rage. You gotta use this ability to get there. So these are more ninjutsu nodes. Alright, let's awaken them. Getting more shuriken orbs will boost that. So that talent looks like it gets boosted with more shuriken orbs. I think that goes back to that perk we were looking at earlier. Alright, so ninjutsu boost again. These percentages are pretty big, so either he starts off really weak or he ends up really strong. I'm not really sure which it is, but keep seeing +8, +10, +8. Those are big numbers. Alright, so we got a score node. Advance time reduced by 0.25 seconds. I'm not sure what that means. More damage against beast bosses. Got 360 damage against beast bosses already. Got 40% damage boost, that's pretty big. And it looks like there's more ninjutsu boosts over on these nodes too. So Jutsu 2. Oh, okay, so it looks like you get a wider area. Another 30%. Yeah, 60%. So like that almost stops it. More of a cooldown with another 2%, so that's 4% weapon cooldown speed right now, I think, with 2 of those. Oh wow, so 480. Yeah, if he's strong, he'll hit really hard against beast bosses. That's what I'm reading there. So that's 6% and 340 attack, 420 attack now. Looks like he's going to be a good alternative to Itsuru. Shuriken orbs can be attracted during ninjutsu release. Okay, so that'll be like Pepper when the ninjutsu's active. And we're up to like 600 attack on beast bosses. Another 40%. Yeah, there it is, 100% right there. Another 10% putting us to 50. Alright, let's check out these last few nodes. Calamity advance, another 0.25 seconds. HP boost from wind weapon. And then attack boost with a wind weapon. Okay. So stuff looks really standard. I think it's really just going to come down to how this test works out. So we'll activate these first couple nodes. Yeah, so it said that area widens for the second phase of his ninjutsu or ninjutsu 2, whatever that means. So I think we'll take a look at that and see what happens. So if you get your ninja leveled up all the way and you get to perk 2, historically you can get them all the way, their support skills all the way maxed out. So you don't need to unlock all of those. Last one should be 200. Yeah, 180, then 200. Yep. Get him all the way leveled up, and we'll test out his skills, or his ninjutsu. So this is just me trying to emulate what we would normally do for a setup here. Make sure he's geared up properly. Alright, let's check out his relics. So first one here, no self mirror. Man, starting off it's at 333 increased ninjutsu attack. Okay, and this one also boosts that power of Crimson Slash. Nice thing is this boosts his weapon skill down, or weapon cooldown too on top of that. $427. I think this is on par with Morven's Pearl. Alright, so his windshield badge starts off at 157. And it's just straight attack. So no elemental damage. So these can be used on other ninjas if you need to. Got 4% recovery speed on weapon skill cooldown. I think he's going to be ideal for confined maps. Alright, Feather Light Ball. So, HP and attack increase. So attack boost on this one isn't huge. This one will probably be one of the cheaper ones to do in the Shattered Recipe shop. So if you have a choice, I'd say do the other two, but you know, your set bonus is going to be stronger than without. Alright, so we'll get a Master Mystique, and I think we'll go with Crystal Soul. Or Kamitachi works too. It's like 480 damage versus 600, you know, if we're just talking ninjutsu. We might change it. We'll do some tests later. Alright, so trying out the Skella perk too. I mean, I don't know that I noticed a big difference. You can't really take damage on this trial map, so that part might not be ideal. But right now we're just trying to see what happens at each of the talents, so we're not necessarily concerned with that extra skill there. At least not yet. Okay, so 3 slashes. Oh, okay, it does get wider. Oh, okay, so here we'll just focus on getting a sense of how much damage we're doing. So that's why I'm holding my talent there, or my skill. I was more curious if I had any visual effect when I used it. Other than changing color, I didn't really see anything. So I think the weapon cooldown was really the only bonus I was getting immediately there.
They hiding in plain sight in sheep's clothes. That ain't a smile, boy, they teeth shown. And the worst thing you could do is mistake and make a move. When the wolves show their teeth, you better not fake a flip. When the wolves show their teeth, you better not take it there. They hiding in plain sight in sheep's clothes.
Okay, so 969 was where I stopped. And that's perk 2. So that's not a beast boss, so that won't be part of the test, but we do want to see what that extra slash does. And I think we'll wait on this one. It looks like we get some shuriken orbs. And I think we'll try a different outfit here too.
When the wolves show their teeth, you better not fake a flex. When the wolves show their teeth, you better not take it there. They hiding in plain sight in sheep's clothes. That ain't a smile, boy.
Get a feel for how this one looks.
And the worst thing you could do is mistake and make a move. When the wolves show their teeth, you better not fake a flip. When the wolves show their teeth, you better not take it there. They hiding in plain sight in sheep's clothes. That ain't a smile, boy, they teeth show. When the wolves show their teeth, when the wolves show their teeth,
Okay, so that 4th slash, I went ahead and used my extra skill there too, just to see what that did in terms of damage. So 967, not huge. Saw a little bit of a difference.
when the wolves show their teeth, you better not fake a flex. When the wolves show their teeth, you better not take it there. They hiding in plain sight in sheep's clothes. That ain't a smile, boy, they teeth shown. And the worst thing you could do is mistake and make a move. When the wolves show their teeth, you better not fake a flip.
kind of curious if these look like normal shuriken orbs or if they look different. I think that ninjutsu 2 getting a 16% boost is going to be a game changer. So let's go ahead and just test it all out together. So 967 was what we were seeing before. See if there's a difference in damage that looks significant. I mean, I would imagine there is. 10% should be pretty significant. So I should be like 950 something if my math is right. Just doing a rough estimate in my head. Like 959, 958, something like that. $962. Okay, that's not. All right, so let's take a look at testing a little differently here. So we're going to use Crystal Soul this time. So remember that's an extra 300 damage. So instead of 480, we're looking at 600 attack damage. I think that'll push us down below where we saw the last one, so we should do a little more damage. And it looks like there's those portions of the attack bouncing around will track, so we'll want to test in a minute if it goes from behind. Yeah, there it goes, 958. Alright, so that's our benchmark. Let's test a few other ninjas, just seeing what happens there. So we got her relics maxed out. So we're, Souga had 3 relics, so we're doing 3 for Itsuru. And then just keeping the rest of the test the same. Thing to keep in mind here, we're really just testing damage on ninjutsu. That's the easiest way to do like for like. Weapon tests are a little harder because if you're comparing a wind ninja to a water ninja, for example, then you're trying to compare weapons that don't do the same damage under the same conditions. So This is really the easiest way to baseline. Alright, so she doesn't have any extra skills to boost her attack, but this should be enough to get a sense. So that's still pretty good. 970, not bad. So Souga definitely does more damage for ninjutsu. We'll check out Starlit Flash Pepper next. And same deal here, so we'll do Master Mystique and then we'll do Crystal Soul after that. And the reason we're using Starlit Flash Pepper, it's actually less about damage on this one. Like, I'm interested in seeing that, but you can see I used one of her newer relics. So she has 4, so the idea with her is really just to focus on using her 3 strongest relics and just to see how it compares for damage, but we'll still focus on, you know, damage output here, but also see how shifting position looks. Her ninjutsu also stops completely, so just to get a feel for the difference. I think the key difference here is that with Starlit Flash Pepper, it's either a straight beam or the attack tracks for that middle portion. So if we broke hers down into 3 parts, you know, you got the initial screen wipe, then you got your beam or tracking, and then you have her final attack for part 3. So same deal as Souga, it's not really that different. And she has those little lightning strikes that happen, so there's a little extra damage happening in between. So she hits harder than Itsuru, gets down to 962, so she gets close. Alright, so what I think we'll want to do here is just do a quick check. So let's see, before we do any other tests, what happens if the ninjutsu is from behind. So if the boss is behind you, what happens? We already saw that it can miss. Overthinking it a little bit too much here, so let's scroll properly. And the reason you want to know what your ninjutsu does if you're in front of a boss instead of, you know, if you're off to the right and they're off to your left, that lets you know if it's worth using or not, right? If it doesn't do anything at all, so like let's use Mai as an example. you know, she can miss the whole thing, and then you're just hoping that the last piece after you put the button combo in, that it'll connect. Riki version 1, you know, that lightning ball shoots all the way to the right and it doesn't come back to the left, so you're only relying on the screen wipe. So you want to know if, you know, it's just a sliver of health if you're trying to cancel or take out the boss with that, or if there's something else going on. So we did a cancel there just to see what happens. You can see the ninjutsu's holding pretty well. So I think he'll go behind here. Yep. So just using it. Yeah, and so there is some tracking that happens with that attack. And it can miss even if he's in front of you. So you have to hit with that dash attack. Let's do one more test. We're going to try out Morven. Give you a little preview on his anniversary outfit too. So Morven's Pearl is still a little stronger than Souga's Relic, but it's close. You know, he's 470 something, I think, compared to, I think it was 518 we saw in Pearl. So not a huge difference. Either way, those are going to be good relics to have, especially if you're doing boss rushes. I like this, and you get some additional effect with this too. So if you remember when we did the test with Ron, Morven wound up doing more damage than she did, even though she was a newer ninja. So we don't want to just assume a newer ninja means that they're stronger, and you also got to keep in mind what their strengths are. So we're testing ninjutsu. Weapon damage is probably good, even if the damage for the weapon isn't necessarily there. I have to assume that the cooldown makes up for it. So using ninjutsu with reverse dragon scale. I like the firework effects going on here. Alright, let's see where this settles. 960, so a little weaker than Souga's. And here we'll just do a non-narrated quick showcase of 4 symbols when predicament difficulty. So, a few final thoughts on how he works out. Ninjutsu works pretty similar to Pepper, probably closer to Starlit Flash Pepper because the ninjutsu gauge itself doesn't burn down even when he's not using once you've got his talents maxed out. So closer to Starlit Flash Pepper than version 1. Similar to his version 1 counterpart, Souga does give a boost with his team skill, but instead of being strong versus Oni, it's strong versus beast. So even if you're not a Souga main, if you have Crimson Slash Souga, he'll be good to put in your party if you're fighting a beast boss. So Tiger Stripe Lord's the boss that comes to mind right now for those SS Plus fights. Sometimes they get a little contentious. You often take damage. You can end up at low health pretty quickly. This is a good way to squeeze out a little bit more damage when you're doing that. His Crimson Knight talent, really good for helping with weapon cooldown when he's below 30% HP. In PvP, I think he's going to be a solid option for confined battlefield effect. And his ninjutsu, you know, it's kind of hard to explain. It feels a little harder to control. He's locked in place for those first few slashes, and then you can move him up or down. You know, that little stream of slashes that he's doing does turn into a cone, so, you know, it's not like super hard to use, but I feel like Starlit Flash Pepper is a little easier to control in terms of what you're trying to do. The aiming piece at the end is similar. Main difference between him and Starlit Flash Pepper is if you miss any of that last phase of the ninjutsu, you miss the whole thing. With Starlit Flash Pepper, if you did enough attacks in that second phase of her ninjutsu, she'll do a little combo at the end and you can pick up the damage. So the first attack can miss, but you can still hit with some of the other subsequent strikes. So still a good option. I like it, but just something to keep in mind. So I think overall, strong ninja plays well, not hard to use. Missing float for those of you who like using Itsuru or Ran or any of the other ninjas that can float, but I think he makes up for it in strength. Alright, and that is it. I appreciate you checking this out. If you got all the way this far, give this a like. Feel free to share. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you on the flip side. Thanks.